Hello students, welcome to class 6 Science. Chapter 2 Components of Food. In chapter 1, we made list of food items that we eat. We also identified food items eaten in different parts of India and marked these on a map. A meal could consist of chapati and dal, another may be rice and sambar, yet another meal could be appam, fish curry. Our meals usually have at least one item made of some kind of grain. Other items could be a dal or a dish of meat and vegetables. It may also include items like curd, buttermilk and pickles. Sometimes we may not really have all this variety in our meals. If we are traveling, we may eat whatever is available on the way. It may not be possible for some of us to eat such a variety of items most of the time. There must be some reason though why meals usually consist of such a distribution. Do you think that our body needs different kinds of food for some special purpose? What do different food items contain? We know that each dish is usually made up of one or more ingredients, which we get from plants or animals. These ingredients contain some components that are needed by our body. These components are called nutrients. The major nutrients in our food are carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals. In addition, food contains dietary fibers and water, which are also needed by our body. With some simple methods, we can test whether cooked food or a raw ingredient contains one or more of these nutrients. The test for presence of carbohydrates, proteins and fats are simpler to do as compared to the test of other nutrients. Let us do these tests and record all our observation. For carrying out these tests, we will need solutions of iodine, copper sulfate and caustic soda. We will also need a few test tubes and a dropper. Let us begin by testing different food items to see if they contain carbohydrates. There are many types of carbohydrates. The main carbohydrates found in our body are the form of starch and sugar. We can easily test if a food item contains starch. Test for starch. Take a small quantity of a food item or a raw ingredient. Put 2 to 3 drops of dilute iodine solution on it. Observe if there is any change in the color of the food item. Did it turn blue-black? A blue-black color indicates that it contains starch. Now repeat this test with other foods and find out which of these contains starch. Test for protein. Take a small quantity of a food item for testing. If the food you want to test is a solid, you first need to make a paste out of it or powder it. Grind or mash a few samples of food items. Put some of this in a clean test tube. Add 10 drops of water to it and shake the test tube. Now, using a dropper, add 2 drops of solution of copper sulfate and 10 drops of solution of caustic soda to it. Shake the test tube well and let the test tube stand for a few minutes. What do you see? Did the contents of the test tube turn violet? A violet color indicates presence of proteins in the food. Now you can repeat this test on other food items. Test for fats. Take a small quantity of a food item. Wrap it in a piece of paper and crush it. Take care that the paper does not tear. Now straighten the paper and observe it carefully. Does it have any oily patch? Hold the paper against light. Are you able to see the light faintly through the patch? An oily patch on a paper shows that the food item contains fat. The food items may sometimes contain a little water. So, let the paper dry for a while. If there were any water that may have come from the food, it would dry up. After some time, if no oily patch shows up after this, the food item does not contain any fat. We tested food items for 3 nutrients: carbohydrates, proteins and fat. There are also other nutrients like vitamins and minerals that are present in different food items. What do various nutrients do for our body? Carbohydrates mainly provide energy to our body. Fats also give us energy. In fact, fats give much more energy as compared to the same amount of carbohydrates. Foods containing fats and carbohydrates are also called energy-giving foods. Proteins are needed for the growth and repair of our body. Foods containing proteins are often called bodybuilding foods. Vitamins help in protecting our body against diseases. Vitamins also help in keeping our eyes, bones, teeth and gums healthy. Vitamins are of different kinds known by different names. Some of these are vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E and vitamin K. There is also a group of vitamins called vitamin B complex. Our body needs all types of vitamins in small quantities. Vitamin A keeps our skin and eyes healthy. Vitamin C helps body to fight against many diseases. Vitamin D helps our body to use calcium for our bones and teeth. Minerals are needed by our body in small amounts. Each one is essential for proper growth of body and to maintain good health. Most food items usually have more than one nutrient. However, in a given raw material, one particular nutrient may be present in much larger quantity than the other. For example, rice has more carbohydrates than any other nutrients. Thus, we say that rice is a carbohydrate-rich source of food. Besides these nutrients, our body needs dietary fibers and water. Dietary fibers are also known as roughage. Roughage is mainly provided by plant products in our foods. Whole grains, pulses, potatoes, fresh fruits and vegetables are main source of roughage. Roughage does not provide any nutrient to our body, but is an essential component for our food and add to its bulk. This helps our body to get rid of undigested foods. Water helps our body to absorb nutrients from the food. It also helps in throwing out some waste from body as urine and sweat. Normally, we get most of the water that our body needs from the liquids we drink, such as water, milk and tea. In addition, we add water to most cooked foods. Balanced diet. The food we normally eat in a day is our diet. Our growth and maintenance of good health, our diet should have all the nutrients that our body needs in right quantities. Not too much of one and not too little of the other. The diet should also contain good amount of roughage and water. Such a diet is called a balanced diet. Do you think that people of all ages need the same type of diet? Pulses, groundnut, soya bean, sprouted seeds, fermented foods like idlis, banana, spinach, sattu, jaggery, available vegetables and other such foods provide many nutrients. Therefore, one can eat a balanced diet without expensive food materials. Eating the right kind of food is not enough. It should also be cooked properly so that its nutrients are not lost. Are you aware that some nutrients get lost in the process of cooking and preparations? If the vegetables and fruits are washed after cutting or peeling them, it may result in a loss of some vitamins. The skins of many vegetables and fruits contain vitamins and minerals. Similarly, repeated washing of rice and pulses may remove some vitamins and minerals present in them. We all know that cooking improves the taste of the food and makes it easier to digest. At the same time, cooking also results in loss of certain nutrients. Vitamin C gets easily destroyed by heat during cooking. Bojo thought that fats would be the best foods to eat all the time. A katori of fat will give more energy than a katori of carbohydrate-rich food, isn't it? So he ate nothing but food rich in fats. Fried foods like samosa and puri, malai, rabdi and peda. Do you think he was right? No, of course not. It can be very harmful for us to eat too much of fat-rich foods and we may end up suffering from a condition called obesity. Deficiency diseases. A person may not be getting enough food to eat, but sometimes The food may not contain a particular nutrient. If this continues over a long period of time, the person may suffer from its deficiency. Deficiency of one or more nutrients can cause diseases or disorders in our body. Diseases that occur due to lack of nutrients over a long period are called deficiency diseases. If a person does not get enough proteins in his or her food for a long time, she or he is likely to have stunted growth, swelling in face, discoloration of hair, skin diseases, and diarrhea. If the diet is deficient in both carbohydrates and proteins for a long period of time, the growth may stop completely. Such a person becomes very lean and thin and so weak that he or she may not even be able to move. Deficiency of different vitamins and minerals may also cause result in certain diseases and disorders. In this chapter,